Good morning. I hope you had a good rest and have been having a good morning. I was told the baby deer were out there. I didn't see them yet, but I imagine we'll meet at some point. I want to read a few excerpts from Stillness Flowing, which is Ajahn Chah's biography, written by Ajahn Chah. It feels like these short excerpts speak to some of the things we've been talking about. So I'm going to start with some words from Ajahn Chah and then a quote from Ajahn Chah. Visible forms, sounds, odors, tastes, physical sensations, and thoughts constantly impinge upon the mind, encouraging like, dislike, attachment. Lungpa, which is what Ajahn Chah uses to refer to Ajahn Chah throughout this book. Lungpa explained how the stabilized mind, turning its attention to the three characteristics of existence, is unwavering in the face of sense contact. He said that impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and not-self are like a seashore, and the sense objects surging into the mind are like the waves. And then this is a quote from Ajahn Chah. It's like waves breaking on the shore. After a wave hits the shore, it breaks up, and a new one appears in its place. Waves can reach no further than the shore. In the same way, sense objects can now go no further than our sense of knowing. Meeting the perception of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and not-self, they split apart and disappear. I think I'll read that quote one more time. It's like waves breaking on the shore. After a wave hits the shore, it breaks up and a new one appears in its place. Waves can reach no further than the shore. In the same way, sense objects can now go no further than our sense of knowing. Meeting the perception of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and not-self, they split apart and disappear. And this is a quote from a section called The Development of Insight. If you maintain awareness, you'll get a report from the scene. It's similar to there being a person in a house with 6 windows. You stand outside watching the windows. From outside, you see someone appearing at one window, and then someone else at another, and you assume that there are 6 people in the house. In fact, it's all just the one person moving from window to window. That one person is named 3 characteristics. Everything is unstable. The 3 characteristics of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and not-self are the object of vipassana. Penetrating them will cut off all doubts. And then Ajahn Chah fills in here, as the practice of contemplating whatever phenomena arise in the calm, lucid mind as impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not self progressed, the meditator would experience a disjunction between the knowing and that which is known. And then another quote from Ajahn Chah. It's not that you have to force this disjunction. Through the abandonment, the putting down of attachment, the mind and its object become automatically disjoined. And Ajahn Chah again. At this stage, Luang Por said that the distinction between the mind and its present object was like that between water and oil. The separation allowed for a constant examination of phenomena. Ajahn Chah, if you take your mind to this point, wherever you go, the mind will be analyzing. This is the enlightenment factor of investigation of Dhamma. It rolls along by itself. And you talk with yourself. You resolve and release the feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness that arise. Nothing can get close to the mind. It has its work to do. This happens naturally. It's not something that you can contrive. And then Ajahn Chah finishes with this paragraph. He said that this was at this, he said that it was at this stage that the Buddha's teachings on the foundations of mindfulness became clear. When the membrane connected the knowing from the known had been cut, then the meditator saw the body in the body, feelings in feelings, states of mind in states of mind, and wholesomeness and unwholesome dhammas, wholesome and unwholesome dhammas in wholesome and unwholesome dhammas. In other words, they were seen clearly for what they were, without superimposing upon them an independent, self-existent owner. This is from Ajahn Chah. All mental states are like cobras. If nothing obstructs their path, they just glide along their way. Even though they possess venom, it's inside them. They are of no danger to us as long as we don't go near them. They just do what cobras naturally do. Intelligent people let go of attachment to everything, both good and bad. They let go of both what they like and what they dislike. It's as if we were to release a cobra from captivity. It would slither away, taking its poison with it. And that is the way we release mental states. We release the good and bad with an awareness of their nature. We don't touch them. Don't take hold of them. Because we don't want anything. We don't want good or bad, heavy or light, pleasure or pain. A conclusion is reached, and lucid calm is firmly established. Then Ajahn Chah adds, he taught that the path of practice was founded on the development of mindfulness and alertness. When these two factors were mature, the wisdom faculty would arise naturally, and meditators would then be wakeful day and night. Practitioners would be close to the Buddha at all times. The term arising of wisdom means that through clearly seeing how all phenomena arise and fall according to causes and conditions, meditators abandon attachment to them as self or adjuncts of self. Ajahn Chah. When things arise, we know. When they cease, we know. When there is happiness, we know. And when there is unhappiness, we know. Once we know, we don't take possession of that happiness or unhappiness. When there is no sense of possession of those feelings, then all that remains is the simple process of arising and ceasing. You let it follow its natural course because there's nothing there worth attaching to. At this time, Luang Por had been reading Zen Buddhist texts and gave his own view on the relationship between nibbana and samsara discussed in them. Ajahn Chah. The Buddha said that nibbana is cessation. Where does that cessation take place? Well, it's like a fire. It's extinguished wherever it springs up, wherever it's burning. You cool something at the point where it's hot. It's the same with nibbana and samsara. They lie in the same place. The Buddha taught us to put out the fire of samsara, that is inner turmoil. Bringing inner turmoil to cessation is called putting out the fire. External fires are hot, and when they've been put out, there is coolness. The inner heat of greed, hatred, and delusion are also fires. Think about it. When sensual desire arises in the mind, it's hot, isn't it? If anger arises, it's hot. If delusion arises, it's hot. It's this heat, which the Buddha called the fires. When fires spring up, there is heat. When they're extinguished, there's coolness. Nibbana is the state that cools the heart. It cools the heat. The Buddha called it peace, the cessation of the wheel of birth and death.